What was that? I figure I can get him to eat up here when I come up. He's going to need to. You know what I mean? I can get him ready and eat because I wait. Yeah, I mean, they're almost done. Okay. So I'm sure they'll be putting it out in a second. Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I know. Oh my.
Wait, I hope I got on. What thing is smashing? Good. Excuse me. Good? Oh. God, you got lunch, eh? Go on. I know you do. God, your horse doesn't know for me. No long as you have time to change the nation. Doesn't the balance so great in that saddle? Yep, no, it's good. Is she doing all this saddle? Sorry. Everyone's trying to get something to get in.
Yeah, is that hot?
No, I'm sitting on him. I don't know if I should get it. Oh, I know you're funny, aren't you? You're a funny one. I'm sorry, I'm the great one. Whip that off. Anybody else want me to sit in there? Laundry again?
You learn things, so why not?
Why not, right?
No, it's good.
You're quite small, you're 5'5", yeah? 5'3". Oh, even taller, right. Switch behind, buddy. No one else rides him with me, so he thinks he's in trouble with someone else. Oh, good. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear from him. Exactly. Good. Hi, buddy. Lovely horse.
thank you.
Right off the leg.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, yeah.
Oh,
That funny going on top. That wouldn't be any good for me, but it's not stopping me getting in the right place. It's just that I'm going to be way over there.
right, you're right. I think I'm right. Well, good, thank you for getting on him.
Nice, much nicer than he looks.
Well, thank you.
He just looks a little bit flat, and he looks like he's couldn't walk on strides. I think he can go chalk on.
Yeah,
He's lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
Like that.
Thank
I
you.
just want to know why he's not. I don't know who he's back.
I know. When we do gymnastics at home, we do set them a little short. He does rock back.
Yeah, like we did in the.
That felt great, that last one. Yeah. So.
Let's not get too complex and worried about it. Let's
No, you know
give him
what?
a yell or two,
He's very honest. He does
and
anything.
gradually one day I think you'll find, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good feeling. It's right off his feet. It's really nice.
Yep. Good. Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to give Tanya the leg up.
I'm going to walk with you to the car and take my boots off and put shoes on, and then I'll walk him back.
Okay.
The biggest impression ever made on me by Thomas Morris was those 3 words. And he said, go out and put some spurs on. And I had this wild thoroughbred called Village Gossip. He doesn't need spurs. He says, go and put spurs on. He said, it's dangerous with that long southern drawl for a horse not to be in front of the leg. And he was talking about show jumping. You know, we're talking about solid fences. It's got to be in front of the leg, and you've got to be trained to be in front of the leg. A horse must have a stop button, and he must have a go button. And those are the only 2 things you need. And he hasn't got a go button, and that's why he stops up there like he does. Okay? Now I should just think walk, and you should go. Walk. Again, I can't stand the inhibition of a big, don't mind a little one, and I just feel, you know, I really don't want the pressure here. That's why I want the pressure. I don't want to feel pressure up there, because the next thing I'm going to have is going to push down on my leg. As soon as I push my knee down, I'm on my crutch, which is where I am on top.
Maybe I should put the smaller ones in, because they're interchangeable.
I would. Wonderful. That's a good idea. Yeah. But you know, be all of you guys, Pam especially, be religious about training them to be off the leg. It's a training thing. It's a stop button and a start button. Bing, they go. They stop. And he's lovely stop button. Stop button. The go button is probably better when he's just not standing here asleep. But he's a little bit, well, we saw it. He just drops very quickly behind. Sometimes you ride these sort of horses, don't have a play, with 2 long sticks, that you never beat them, but you go clack clack. The best place, everybody wears saddle pants now, the best place is to wear a number, and that's the best place to get them. You can't get them unless you drop your hand and do that. If you ever watch any of these extraordinary horsemen, there's a wonderful guy in Australia that I do a lot of work with called Andrew McLean, who can get any horse to load into a trailer in 11 minutes from the maximum. And he does it all off the ground with a stick, and he'll do it here. And the moment it takes a step forward, he stops hitting it. And the moment it doesn't keep going forward, he starts again. And tapping, yeah, with a long whip because he's on the ground. When you're on the horse, he does it from here. And a really interesting one, I had one sort of 15-hand player, I could not get it to jump when it didn't want to. Jumped really well and then wouldn't. Jumped really well and wouldn't. I said, Andrew, I'm totally stuck with this horse. I cannot get it to give an honest display. So he got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, he was flying out at 8:30. And we went out, we got the girl to come to this paddock. We went out and we put some jumps up, sort of things that were going to stop that little thing, spooky thing, then it stopped. And he had her just do this repeatedly here, and getting really hard. I hadn't seen it so hard before. You know, that horse just went. The moment it went forward, she stopped going. The moment he stopped, she started again. And it completely fixed it. It understood that if it was going to stop, it was going to get this. Really interesting. But that's another. What I would do with this horse is I would ride him with 2 long whips. And here's the problem: finding long whips that aren't swishy. I use polo whips because they're meant for somebody with 4 reins and 1 with a hand, and they've got to be able to hit the horse, so they're stiff. They're quite thick in your hand, some of them. And so if you've got one in each hand and a rein, some people say, oh, don't like that. And you go along, every time they don't come off the leg, you just say clack clack, try not to yank them in the teeth as well. And I know it works because it's appallingly backward horse I had since he was 5. And it took 22 prelim runs, 22 intermediate runs, 22 training runs before he could go advanced. He did go advanced in the end. I mean, you can't do that with horses in front of the leg, and he never really was, but at least it got him through the grades. And I only ever beat him when he was at a competition, because otherwise I'd have been beating him all day, every day. So I didn't beat him. If he didn't want to go past terribly spooky, he didn't want to go past something, he got the clack clack, which was a totally different thing. And then he went to the first fence. One of the first 3 he would always try spook out, not really stop the spook. And then he really caught it. It was the only time he got it. Because when this shouldn't be difficult for him thoroughly. This was a half Irish chap. They must just go. Be just a bit more confident that move forward. He went, but he's got to go properly. And the worst was him, Pam. And he's warmer blooded, so you'd expect that, and you told me anyway that he was. How are you feeling?
Where was the spot? I didn't see it was on the other side. Where was she?
You can jump it down. I don't know,
Under the saddle where your hand reaches, like right here.
Okay.
And you just want to annoy
No,
them.
she's got another one.
Clack clack is a good word.
Okay.
Clack 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 clack.
Yeah, he's got it very quick.
With a
The
stick.
heck out of them. You
Just
can do it
slow
with your
this?
hand.
Oh, with your
not a
hand.
stick.
So where you can reach.
Yeah, and where you can
saddle
reach.
head.
Lets you. And the instant they move, you quit.
Okay.
I always talk about riding as being in a framework. And on the outside, you have your rules. They go straight, they don't run out, they don't stop. They go when you ask them, they stop when you ask them. And then within the framework of that discipline that I just outlined, they can paint their own picture. They can jump in their own style. They can put in those extra strides if they want. They can stand off if they want. They can be themselves. They can develop their own initiative, and that's what makes a horse brilliant. People are brilliant because they go off from their own track. They're not brilliant because they get trained the same way. They find what works for them. You take all those top riders at the moment, not one of them rides anything like the other. Andrew Nicholson doesn't find strides. William Foxpitt never doesn't find strides. So you have 2 totally top level horsemen, both walking the course in different ways. Totally fascinating. So go on what fits you, what suits you, but always feel the horse, he's got a boundary beyond which you don't accept. And I don't accept this horse not like Pam's. I don't accept your horse, Pam, not to go instantly off the leg. And just because he's a warm run is no excuse. He has to do it. I don't accept a runner. I don't accept a stop. And if I get it, it's my fault for asking too much, or being slack about making sure it's feeling. And then what I love to feel is that they can be an artist within their framework. They can paint the picture they want. They don't have to be perfect. Do what they need to do. Remember, every horse is screwed together differently. Every horse is going to find that he's got to jump in a slightly different way. And Kim's horse, for whatever reason, he jumps a little bit solid under the saddle. Is that going to come as he gets stronger and freer and more confident? Is there a kissing spine that you just have to live with? Is the saddle too tight? You know, all these things pass through your mind, and you just live with the fact that that isn't yet perfect, but time may make it perfect. But you don't get wired into making it better, because you can't. You've just got to give him the fun and the games and just feel him start to be confident. When he understood what that double bounce was, he let his back go through that. Never really happy about this oxer on the ankle. Right. He was always a bit like that, which then immediately followed him. So I think a lot of this horse, because I like the feel very much when I got on him. What a beautiful horse. I think this horse will get better and better as he believes in himself. Yeah. And he's got you sit in a super place. Be careful, do the walk jump and don't let yourself leave her out. Right. Practice a little bit the long range so that you get the feeling you did that last time. Yeah. Okay? Lovely. Good. So now we'll have lots of fun tomorrow because I know what they all feel like.